Tell us more about the importance of these topics, specifically, corporate social responsibility, sustainability, diversity, inclusion. Why are they important in an organization?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, as we started to talk about earlier, it's absolutely becoming more and more important, all of these topics. And there's a couple reasons why. Number one, employees actually expect it. Right. So when we think about the millennials, for example, and frankly, all levels of employees, or all sort of levels of generations, if you will, people expect that organizations care about diversity and inclusion. They want to be part of a company that actually allows for different perspectives to come to the table, to drive innovation and productivity. And you see that in surveys and conversations and going out and speaking to talent, that it's just become an expectation for the employees. Secondly, if you think about customers or clients, all of our customers and our clients, when they're actually going through an RFP process or even talking to us about developing a relationship, they're asking us questions about diversity. They're asking about sustainability. What are we doing for the environment? Why do we care, right? And they're asking, what are you doing in your communities? You're a global company. If we're going to work with you, do you care about the communities you operate in? And so the customers are critical. And finally, and probably the newest part, is the investor community. So investors are really waking up to this whole concept of social impact investing. And they're making decisions on the companies they put money into based on their focus on these areas. And that's particularly fascinating because you're starting to see the rubber hit the road in terms of the business case is becoming that much clearer, that actually there's a correlation between effective strategies around diversity, sustainability, and CSR and the bottom line.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What is the business case for organizations to have these initiatives in place for themselves?
For sure, absolutely. And I'll speak about them in aggregate, and of course we could always deep dive into each as appropriate. But if we think about all three areas, the business case is clear amongst a number of different variables. I think the first is primarily gets back to the employee. So you see that employee engagement increases when companies focus on these areas. Because what happens is employees come to work feeling comfortable to bring their whole selves to work, whether they're a man, they're a woman, they're black, they're white, they're gay, or otherwise. They come to work feeling valued, and so therefore people end up being more engaged, more productive, and therefore the bottom line is impacted, right? So you've got that engagement piece. The other part to the business case is, frankly, there's been a lot of studies done around diversity, for example. If you have X amount of women, and actually it's 2 to 3 on your board, for example, there's a direct correlation to an increase in productivity and stock prices. So that research has been done as well. So people are now saying, wow, we've got to have diversity in our leadership teams because, again, we're driving innovation, we're driving productivity, and if we see that direct correlation to the stock prices, then there you go. There's the business case. And then finally, the other measurement that we use quite a bit gets back to the customer base, as I mentioned earlier, which is customer loyalty increases based on a company's focus on these areas. So there's a number of different metrics in place now that one can talk about very knowledgeably, but also very factually, so it's no longer a soft issue. These become real hard business issues.